Hey guys, welcome to Princeton's English channel, and also welcome another motivational video. Our today's video is about how to keep your brain young. So guys, if you are new in my channel, please make sure to subscribe my channel. No more talk, let's start our today's video. Part 1, Booyah 1, Introduction to the Ageless Mind. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people stay sharp and vibrant well into their 70s or 80s? While others begin to fade far earlier. Why one mind stays curious, creative, and already, while another becomes foggy, forgetful, and tired. Science used to tell us that once we hit a certain age, our brain cells stop growing, that our mental peak happened in our 20s. And from there, it was all downhill. But that idea is now ancient history. Today, neuroscience reveals something incredible. Your brain is not fixed. It's all on, dynamic, and constantly rewiring itself. It can grow stronger, sharper, and more creative at any age if you give it the right fuel, the right challenges, and the right environment. The human brain, the most powerful machine ever built. Imagine this. Inside your head, you're carrying around the most complex structure in the known universe. It weighs about 3 pounds, but inside those few pounds are 86 billion neurons and trillions of connections, firing in perfect synchrony to create you. Every memory, every idea, every decision, even the way you feel right now, all of it is being shaped by tiny electrical sparks moving faster than lightning. And the most astonishing part? Your brain never truly stops changing. This process is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and adapt. Whether you're 18 or 80, your mind can learn, heal, grow, and reshape itself, but only if you give it a reason to. The American rush. In modern America, life moves fast. We live surrounded by screens, caffeine, stress, and endless information. From New York to Los Angeles, from tech offices in Seattle to quiet neighborhoods in Austin, we're always connected, but rarely present. We scroll instead of reflect. We react instead of think. And slowly, our mental sharpness begins to dull, not because we're aging, but because we're not using our brains the way they were designed to be used. The truth is, mental aging doesn't begin in your 60s. It begins the moment you stop learning, stop challenging yourself, and stop nurturing your mind. But the good news? You can reverse it completely. Neuroscience, the new frontier of youth. Recent studies from Harvard, Stanford, and UCLA have shown that people who actively engage their minds through new skills, social connections, and physical exercise actually grow new neural pathways well into their later years. In one UCLA study, older adults who learned digital photography showed measurable increases in brain connectivity within just 12 weeks. At Harvard Medical School, researchers found that something as simple as daily mindful breathing could improve focus and protect against cognitive decline. Even more fascinating brain scans show that musicians, writers, and bilingual individuals often have denser gray matter in critical brain regions, the parts responsible for memory, coordination, and creativity. In other words, your brain rewards curiosity. It thrives on challenge. It loves to be used. Meet Jack, the 67-year-old guitarist from Chicago. Let me tell you about Jack. He's 67 years old, living in the suburbs of Chicago. When he retired from his sales job, he thought his learning days were behind him. He spent hours watching TV, scrolling social media, and occasionally meeting friends. But deep down, he felt his mind slowing. He forgot small things. He lost focus. He felt tired, mentally tired. Then one day, while visiting a local coffee shop, he saw a group of teenagers playing acoustic guitars. Something inside him lit up. He thought, why not me? He bought a cheap guitar online and started taking lessons. At first, his fingers hurt, and he could barely remember the chords. But every day he practiced. He challenged his memory, his coordination, his patience. And slowly, something incredible happened. Not only did he learn music, he started remembering names, faces, and stories again. He became more alert, more confident, more alive, because he wasn't just learning guitar, he was teaching his brain to grow again. The science behind brain renewal. When you challenge yourself with something new, whether it's learning a language, picking up chess, or even taking a new route to work, your brain forms new synapses. These connections create fresh neural networks. Like building new roads across a vast city, the more roads you build, the faster information travels and the sharper your brain becomes. This is why staying curious is not just a mindset, it's a biological necessity for mental youth. But modern lifestyles do the opposite. We fall into patterns. We repeat the same routines, eat the same foods, talk to the same people, and rarely step outside our comfort zones. Our brain, deprived of novelty, starts shutting down unused connections, a process known as synaptic pruning. It's nature's way of saying, if you're not using it, you don't need it. So to keep your brain young, you must use it. Challenge it, surprise it, feed it new experiences. The American lifestyle paradox. Let's be honest, in the US, we value productivity more than reflection. We chase deadlines, not downtime. We celebrate busyness like it's a badge of honor. But neuroscience now shows that rest, sleep, and mindfulness are not luxuries, they're essential. They clean and reset the brain. During deep sleep, your brain's glymphatic system flushes out toxins and waste proteins, including beta amyloids, which are linked to Alzheimer's disease. That's why skipping sleep, for a few nights, can dramatically reduce your focus, memory, and creativity. And yet many of us live on caffeine and 4-hour nights. We're burning the very fuel our mind needs to stay alive. Aging is optional, decay is not destiny. Here's the truth. Your chronological age, the number on your driver's license, doesn't have to define your mental age. You can be 25 and mentally dull, or 75 and mentally electric. What matters is how you live. Do you feed your brain or drain it? Do you move your body or stay still? Do you learn, connect, and play, or just repeat yesterday's routines? Because your habits, not your age, decide how young your brain stays. The mission of this video. In this video, we're going to explore 16 powerful, science-backed habits that will help you keep your brain young, sharp, and alive for life. These aren't just tips or theories. They're daily practices inspired by neuroscience, psychology, and longevity research from across the United States. You'll learn how astronauts, doctors, athletes, musicians, and everyday Americans use these habits to keep their minds flexible, their memory strong, and their creativity endless. So whether you're a student in Boston, a nurse in Houston, or a retiree in San Diego, your brain can grow younger, starting today. The journey ahead. In the next chapters, we'll unlock these habits one by one. How to feed your brain the right nutrients, how to train it with movement, how to challenge it with novelty, how to rest it with mindfulness, and how to connect it with people and purpose. Because staying young isn't just about how long you live, it's about how awake you are while you're living. So take a deep breath. Let's begin this journey together. Welcome to How to Keep Your Brain Young. Your transformation starts now. Part 2. The 16 Powerful Habits. Habit 1. Move your body, grow your mind. Your brain loves movement. Every step you take, every heartbeat that rises during a workout sends a message to your brain. Stay alive. Stay young. In the laboratories of Harvard Medical School, scientists discovered something astonishing. Physical exercise doesn't just strengthen muscles, it triggers the growth of new brain cells. Specifically, it boosts a molecule called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps them grow, connect, and communicate more efficiently. When you walk, jog, or dance, you're literally helping your brain regenerate itself. That's why people who exercise regularly perform better in memory, problem solving, and creativity tests regardless of age. The movement miracle in Denver. Let's meet Sarah. She's 54 and works as an accountant in Denver, Colorado. After years of sitting in front of spreadsheets, she noticed her focus fading. Her energy was gone by noon. Her doctor told her, "You don't need another coffee, you need to move." So she started walking every morning 30 minutes. No excuses. After 3 weeks, something changed. She was remembering clients' names again, thinking faster during meetings, and even sleeping better. Science explains why. Movement increases blood flow to the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for learning and memory. Every step she took was like charging her brain's internal battery. Practical tip: you don't have to join a gym or run marathons. Just walk, dance, stretch, take the stairs. Your brain will thank you with sharper focus, better mood, and longer mental life. Habit 2. Feed your brain. Nutrients that keep you young. The saying "you are what you eat" applies perfectly to your brain. It consumes about 20% of your daily energy, more than any other organ. Feed it junk and it will struggle. Feed it right and it will thrive. In a 2022 study from Tufts University in Boston, researchers found that people who followed a Mediterranean-style diet, rich in olive oil, nuts, fish, and green vegetables, had significantly lower risks of Alzheimer's disease and cognitive decline. These foods contain omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and polyphenols, powerful compounds that fight inflammation and keep neurons healthy. Brain fuel in everyday America. In California's Silicon Valley, tech entrepreneurs are famous for using brain diets to stay sharp. They start their mornings with blueberries, walnuts, and green tea, all proven to enhance memory and protect brain cells from oxidative stress. Meanwhile, neuroscientists at the University of California, San Francisco, discovered that high-sugar processed foods, the kind found in soda, chips, and fast snacks, actually shrink the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Practical tip: feed your brain like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Choose salmon, sardines, or flax seeds, berries and dark chocolate, leafy greens, eggs, and avocados. And drink plenty of water. Dehydration can lower brain performance by up to 20%. Remember, your diet is a daily investment in your future memory. Habit 3. Never stop learning. The brain that learns lives longer. The greatest danger to your mind is not aging, it's comfort. The brain stays young when it's challenged. At Stanford University, neuroscientist Dr. Carol Dweck discovered the power of a growth mindset, the belief that intelligence and skills can be developed through effort. People who believe they can grow actually do. Their brains form stronger connections, faster recovery after failure, and higher dopamine release when learning. The curious mind in New York City. Meet Jordan, a 29-year-old chef from New York. During the pandemic, his restaurant closed. Instead of giving up, he decided to learn something entirely new: coding. He struggled at first: syntax errors, frustration, long nights, but his brain was transforming. Neuroscience calls this cognitive stretching. Every time Jordan learned a new concept, his brain built new synapses. 6 months later, not only had he mastered web development, but he felt mentally sharper, more confident, and more adaptable. The lesson is clear. Learning something new, whether it's cooking, dancing, or a new language, doesn't just fill your mind with knowledge. It renews your mind with energy. Practical tip: learn something unfamiliar in every year. Read challenging books, take online courses. Don't fear failure. It's the gym where your brain grows stronger. Habit 4. Sleep like it's your superpower. If exercise feeds your brain and learning challenges it, sleep repairs it. In labs at the University of Rochester, Scientists found that during deep sleep, your brain activates a cleaning system called the glymphatic system. It removes toxins that build up during the day, including beta amyloid, the protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. When you skip sleep, these toxins remain clouding memory, slowing reaction time, and weakening creativity. Sleep isn't laziness, it's maintenance. The Silicon Valley secret. In Silicon Valley, companies like Google and Facebook have nap pods for a reason. They know productivity doesn't come from constant work, it comes from rested minds. Matthew Walker, a sleep expert at UC Berkeley, calls sleep the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body each day. People who sleep 7 to 9 hours consistently show higher learning capacity, stronger immune systems, and better emotional control. Practical tip: keep a consistent bedtime even on weekends. Turn off screens 60 minutes before sleep. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Think of your brain like a supercomputer. It can't run endless programs without rebooting. Sleep is that reboot. Transition, the brain's daily renewal cycle. Every day, your brain goes through a cycle of stimulation, challenge, restoration. When you move your body, feed it right, learn new things, and give it rest, you activate all 4 pillars of brain renewal. These first 4 habits are the foundation. They fuel every other mental ability from focus to creativity to emotional resilience. In the next part, we'll dive even deeper into habits that connect, stretch, and empower your mind, the social, creative, and spiritual dimensions of brain youth. Part 3, the 16 powerful habits. Habit 5, connect deeply, social bonds that protect the mind. If you want to keep your brain young, stay connected. Loneliness is more dangerous to the brain than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not a metaphor, it's from a real Harvard study. For 85 years, the Harvard study, a Bayer study of adult development, followed thousands of men and women, measuring their health, happiness, and cognitive strength. The single most powerful predictor of long-term brain health wasn't diet or income. It was the quality of relationships. Human connection is oxygen for the mind. When you talk, laugh, share, or even argue with people you care about, your brain releases oxytocin, a chemical that reduces stress and strengthens neural circuits tied to empathy and memory. The Coffee Club, a real story from Ohio. Every morning in Columbus, Ohio, a group of retired school teachers meets at a diner. They call themselves the Coffee Club. They've been doing it for over 15 years. They talk about everything from politics to recipes to grandchildren. And here's the fascinating thing: most of them are in their 70s, yet their mental agility could rival someone in their 40s. Why? Because social interaction keeps their brains firing. Every conversation is mental exercise, recalling stories, analyzing opinions, using humor, listening, responding. Practical tip: call someone you love every day. Join a book club, volunteer, or take a community classes. Don't isolate behind screens, talk face to face. Remember, your brain is a social organ. It grows through connection. Habit 6, manage stress. Calm minds stay young. Stress is a silent brain killer. A little stress can sharpen focus, but chronic stress floods your brain with cortisol, a hormone that damages neurons, especially in the hippocampus, the memory center. Bruce McEwen from Rockefeller University called it toxic stress, the kind that literally shrinks the brain. In modern America, stress is everywhere, in traffic, bills, deadlines, social media, but it doesn't have to control you. You can train your brain to respond differently with calm instead of chaos. The Breath Revolution, California's mindfulness wave. In San Diego, companies like Qualcomm and Scripps Health offer mindfulness breaks during work hours. Employees spend 10 minutes in guided breathing, learning to slow their heart rate and refocus their minds. The results? Lower blood pressure, fewer sick days, and sharper mental performance. Wait a while. Because when you calm your breath, you calm your brain. Slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, telling your body you're safe. This allows your brain to shift from survival mode to creative mode. Practical tip: try this simple exercise every day. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, repeat for 4 minutes. You'll feel clarity return, stress fades, and focus strengthens. It's free, powerful, and backed by science. Habit 7, practice mindfulness, the art of present awareness. Your mind often lives in two worlds, the past and the future. Regret, worry, planning, overthinking. But your brain rejuvenates only in one place, the present. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of this moment, your breath, your sensations, your thoughts, without judgment. At UCLA's Mindful Awareness Research Center, studies show that people who meditate for just 10 to 15 minutes a day have thicker gray matter in regions tied to learning, emotion regulation, and empathy. In simple terms, mindfulness slows brain aging. The 10-minute miracle, a story from New York City. Lena, a 38-year-old marketing executive from Brooklyn, used to start every morning with chaos emails, traffic, deadlines. She felt constantly on edge. A friend recommended mindfulness meditation. At first, she laughed, "I don't have time to sit and do nothing." But after just 2 weeks of 10-minute sessions, she noticed a change. She was calmer. Her thoughts were clearer. She reacted less and focused more. Her coworkers even noticed her new energy. Her secret wasn't magic, it was presence. Mindfulness trained her brain to filter out noise and stay centered. Practical tip: start small, 5 minutes a day. Use apps like Headspace or Calm, or simply sit in silence. Listen to your breathing. Watch your thoughts pass like clouds. It's not about stopping thoughts, it's about seeing them clearly. Your brain will thank you by becoming more peaceful, resilient, and young. Habit 8, challenge your memory. Your brain's workout routine. Muscles grow when you lift weights. Your memory grows when you challenge it. The act of remembering, forcing your brain to recall names, facts, or events, strengthens neural pathways. This is called active recall, and it's one of the most powerful tools in neuroscience. At the University of Illinois, researchers discovered that people who regularly engaged in memory games, puzzles, or even learning new songs showed slower rates of mental decline compared to those who didn't. Your memory isn't a fixed storage unit, it's a muscle. And just like any muscle, it weakens if you don't use it. The Memory Master, story from Florida. Tom, a 62-year-old retired engineer in Tampa, decided to memorize one poem a week. He started with simple lines, then moved to full pages. After 6 months, he could recite Shakespeare effortlessly, and something surprising happened. His wife said, "You've become sharper, even your conversations are livelier." Tom laughed, but it was true. His memory training had enhanced his attention span and creativity. Practical tip: play memory games or Sudoku. Try recalling your grocery list instead of writing it down. Memorize phone numbers, quotes, or new vocabulary. Learn a new instrument. Music is a full brain workout. Remember, the act of remembering keeps you alive. Every recall builds new neural strength. Transition. The brain is like a garden. By now, you've built 8 powerful habits, each one a seed planted in your mental garden. Movement waters the roots. Nutrition feeds the soil. Sleep renews it. Learning and connection help it bloom. But to keep your garden thriving, you need sunlight, creativity, play, gratitude, and purpose. That's what we'll explore next. Part 4, the 16 powerful habits. Habit 9, play and creativity. The brain's joy circuit. When was the last time you played not for competition, not for profit, but just for joy? As children, we paint, imagine, build, and explore. But as adults, we trade curiosity for routine, creativity for responsibility. And slowly, the brain's joy circuits start to fade. Yet neuroscience shows something amazing: play and creativity are essential for brain health. At the University of Texas, researchers found that creative play increases dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that boost learning and motivation. Even lighthearted activities, drawing, storytelling, improv comedy, or playing with pets activate the prefrontal cortex, enhancing emotional intelligence and problem solving. The painter of Portland, Evelyn, a 70-year-old widow from Portland, Oregon, hadn't picked up a paintbrush in over 40 years. After her husband passed away, she joined a local community art class. The first few weeks, she felt clumsy and unsure, but soon colors began to flow. Her paintings became brighter, her mood lighter, her memory sharper. Doctors say creative activity stimulates neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons. In Evelyn's case, art didn't just heal her heart, it rejuvenated her mind. Practical tip: do something playful every day. Paint, cook, play guitar, write, dance, garden. Don't worry about being good at it. Creativity isn't about talent, it's about mental renewal. The brain thrives on imagination, it's what keeps it young. Habit 10. Explore nature, the healing power of the outdoors. Modern life often keeps us indoors, surrounded by walls, screens, and artificial light. But your brain was designed to live in nature. Fresh air, sunlight, and open spaces aren't luxuries, they're neural necessities. In a 23 Stanford study, researchers found that walking in natural settings reduced activity in the brain's subgenual prefrontal cortex, the region linked to depression and overthinking. In contrast, urban environments increased mental fatigue and anxiety. Nature resets your brain's rhythm. It lowers cortisol, enhances creativity, and restores focus, a phenomenon known as attention restoration theory. The Yosemite Renewal. David, a 35-year-old software engineer from San Francisco, was burned out. He took a weekend off and went hiking in Yosemite National Park. No phone, no laptop, no Wi-Fi. By day 2, something inside him changed. He described it later as mental silence. His mind stopped racing. His creativity returned. That's not coincidence, it's biology. Nature stimulates the brain's default mode network, which helps with daydreaming, self-reflection, and emotional regulation. Practical tip: spend at least 20 minutes a day outside. Walk under trees, feel the wind, listen to birds. On weekends, visit parks or trails. Your brain needs natural light and fresh air. They're the vitamins of consciousness. Habit 11. Practice gratitude. Rewiring for positivity. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, your brain strengthens circuits of worry and negativity. But if you practice gratitude, intentionally noticing what's right, your brain literally rewires for happiness. At the University of California, Davis, Dr. Robert Emmons has spent decades studying gratitude. He found that people who write down 3 things they're thankful for each day experience better sleep, lower stress, stronger immune function, and higher levels of optimism. Gratitude increases activity in the prefrontal cortex and anterior cingulate cortex, areas linked to learning, decision-making, and empathy. The Gratitude Letters, a story from Austin, Texas. Maria, a 45-year-old nurse in Austin, started a gratitude journal during the pandemic. Every night she wrote 3 short entries. I'm grateful for a warm meal, for my son's laughter, for my health. After a month, she noticed something subtle but powerful. Her anxiety had faded. She wasn't ignoring pain. She was balancing it with perspective. MRI scans confirm this. Gratitude releases dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals many antidepressants target. Practical tip: write 3 things you are thankful for daily. Say thank you to others. Often it deepens connection and joy. Remember, gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about seeing the beauty that already exists. Gratitude doesn't just make life better, it makes your brain younger. Habit 12. Find purpose. Why meaning protects the mind. You can eat well, sleep well, and exercise daily, but if your life lacks meaning, your mind will still grow old. Purpose is the most powerful anti-aging force known to the brain. Studies from Rush University Medical Center in Chicago found that older adults with a strong sense of purpose had a 52% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. Purpose gives the brain direction, something to wake up for. The volunteer from Seattle, James, 61, retired early after decades in marketing. He spent his first year doing nothing, sleeping late, watching TV, feeling lost. Then he started volunteering at a youth mentoring center in Seattle. He says, "It gave me a reason to get up again." His memory improved, his energy returned, and his depression disappeared. Why? Because purpose activates the dopamine reward system. It tells your brain, you matter. Every act of service, every goal, every contribution lights up neural circuits tied to motivation and joy. Practical tip: ask yourself, what gives my life meaning? It could be family, teaching, art, helping others, or building something bigger than yourself. Align your actions with that purpose. Purpose is not something you find, it's something you create, and it keeps your brain alive with energy and hope. Transition. The mind's second spring. By now, you've built a mental foundation of movement, nutrition, learning, rest, connection, and purpose. Your brain has been awakened, but the journey isn't over. In the final chapter, we'll uncover the last 4 habits, advanced practices that protect, challenge, and expand your brain for life. These are the habits of longevity pioneers, people across the U.S. who defy mental aging and continue to grow, create, and inspire into their 80s and beyond. Part 5, the final habits of a young brain habit. 13, embrace challenge, turn struggle into growth. Your brain doesn't grow in comfort, it grows in challenge. Just like muscles need resistance to get stronger, the mind needs obstacles to stay sharp. In psychology, this is called the stress inoculation effect. Short bursts of manageable challenge, learning a new language, solving a hard problem, or stepping outside your comfort zone trigger neuroplastic adaptation. The brain literally reshapes itself to meet the new demand. At Harvard University, Dr. Alvaro Pascual Leone studied pianists learning difficult compositions. After just 5 days of practice, brain scans showed dramatic growth in motor and auditory regions, proof that effort rewires the brain. The climber from Colorado, Samantha, a 42-year-old nurse from Denver, started rock climbing at age 40. She said, "It terrified me at first, but every time I reached a new height, my mind felt alive." Neuroscientists call this the challenge-reward loop. When you overcome fear, your brain releases dopamine, adrenaline, and endorphins, chemicals that sharpen focus, memory, and confidence. Practical tip: take on something hard, a new skill, a new route to work, a new mindset. Don't fear the discomfort. It's a sign your brain is adapting. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Your brain stays young when you stay brave. Habit 14. Limit digital overload. Protect your focus. In modern America, the average person checks their phone over 350 times per day. We scroll, swipe, click, and multitask, but our attention span is shrinking. In fact, researchers at the University of California, Irvine, found that office workers switch tasks every 47 seconds on average. Each switch drains glucose and oxygen from the prefrontal cortex, the very region responsible for deep thinking and creativity. This is the age of digital dementia, but it doesn't have to be. The Focus Reset New York experiment. In Manhattan, productivity researcher Cal Newport ran an experiment with volunteers who turned off notifications for 7 days. The results? Focus time increased by 62%, anxiety levels dropped by 33%, and participants describe feeling mentally lighter. When your mind is constantly interrupted, it can't form long-term memories. But when you guard your attention, your brain rebuilds the circuits for clarity and calm. Practical tip: create digital detox hours, no phone during meals or the first hour after waking. Use the Do Not Disturb feature strategically. Replace scrolling with mindful reading, journaling, or walking. Your attention is your life's currency. Spend it wisely. Habit 15. Laugh often, the brain's natural medicine. Laughter isn't just fun, it's medicine. It increases blood flow to the brain, boosts immune response, and floods the body with endorphins, natural painkillers, and mood boosters. At Loma Linda University in California, Dr. Lee Burke discovered that laughter actually improves memory and learning ability in older adults. Even anticipating laughter watching a funny movie trailer releases dopamine, which primes the brain for creativity. The Comedy Club in Chicago. Every Thursday, a group of seniors gathers at a small comedy club in Chicago. They call themselves the Silver Laughters. They don't perform for fame, they perform to stay alive. One member, 68-year-old Frank, says, "After 10 minutes of laughter, I feel 10 years younger." And science agrees. Laughter reduces stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, allowing neurons to communicate more efficiently. Practical tip: watch comedy regularly, late-night shows, stand-up, or funny YouTube videos. Spend time with people who make you laugh. Don't take yourself too seriously. The mind ages when the heart grows heavy. A joyful brain is a youthful brain. Habit 16. Stay curious, the lifelong key to mental youth. Curiosity is the spark that keeps your brain forever young. It's the drive to ask, to explore, to wonder. And it never expires unless you stop feeding it. Research from the University of California, Davis, shows that curiosity activates the caudate nucleus, the brain's reward center, enhancing memory retention by up to 70%. When you're curious, your brain lights up like it did when you were a child. The explorer from Arizona. At 83, Raymond from Tucson travels across America in his RV. He calls it his lifelong classroom. He learns about local history, geology, and people's stories, every place a new puzzle for his mind. Doctors say his cognitive health is exceptional, sharper than many half his age. His secret? I never stopped being amazed. Practical tip: ask more questions even about ordinary things. Read one new topic every week. Try something different every month, a new hobby, culture, or idea. Curiosity is mental oxygen. It keeps the brain expanding, evolving, and alive. The ageless mind lives in you. We live in a world obsessed with anti-aging creams, diets, and shortcuts. But the real secret isn't in a bottle. It's in your daily habits. Your brain is not a machine that wears out. It's a garden that grows where you plant attention. Every time you move your body, feed it real food, learn something new, rest deeply, laugh freely, connect with purpose, you are reversing time. You're telling your brain, I'm not done learning, I'm not done growing. A message from the future you. Imagine your future self 30, 40, 50 years from now looking back. Would they thank you for the way you cared for your mind? Would they smile knowing you didn't let routine steal your wonder? Because the truth is, the brain doesn't age by years. It ages by neglect. And it stays young by curiosity, courage, and compassion. So wherever you are in your journey, remember this: your best years are not behind you. They live inside you in the neurons that never stop growing. Final takeaway: keep moving, keep learning, keep laughing, keep giving, keep loving, keep being curious. That's how you keep your brain young and your spirit eternal. And here is the end of our today's motivational video, how to improve communication skills. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe my channel. Goodbye, friends, and see you soon in another video.